Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As we get more people into the chat room, drop your crowns in the chat and let me know where you're watching from. TikTok, nice that you guys are here with me. Head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We're also live on the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're live on Twitter. Hey, Twitter, what's going on? At the Kempire. And we're live on Twitch. We're gaining a large following on Twitch. Also at the Kempire there on Twitch. Happy Friday, y'all. It is burning up here in New York City. 93 degrees right now. 93. And it feels even worse because of the humidity. Shout out to everyone that's in the chat. Hey, Nicole. Hey, St. J. Hey, Darren. What's going on? DC's in the building. Yes. Happy Friday, guys. I know I decided to do this live earlier than expected because I just thought I had an appointment. I thought it was going to be running late. It is what it is. I said, let me do this a little bit earlier if we can, because I have other stories that I need to cover. I might be going live later on tonight or tomorrow. Not sure yet. Gotta do my due diligence in regards to research. Thank you so much, T-Bird, for subbing. Shout out to hey, New York loves Kempire. Yes, I love that. And I'm from New York, born and raised in New York, live in New York. Hope to, I was about to get real morbid. I'm say and die in New York. No, let me die somewhere fabulous. Well, New York is fabulous in its own way. But yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to our new members. Don't forget, the Kempire Daily YouTube channel has a now YouTube membership. For just $2.99, you can get a whole lot. And shout out to the members, a lot of little perks, including access to our backstage. Yes. And I'm planning a live chat just for our members. And if you would like to be a part of the Royal Court, there's even more perks. And I have other perks planned and other levels planned. So feel free to head on over to TheKempire.com for more details. And if you'd like to join our Texan community gets a lot for free. I'm just going to point that out, right? Texan community. If you're part of the Texan community, you guys get a lot for free. Head on over to TheKempire.com for more details on how you can join our Texan community. It's another way for us to connect there. And you also get exclusive tea. You get exclusive tea that I haven't shared anywhere else. I think I'm going to change the official date of our podcast. As you know, I have my podcast, Kempire Radio, available on all podcast platforms. Normally, it will come out on a Friday, but as you guys have seen, we've been busy. So I think over the weekend, that's when we will drop the podcast. The last couple of Saturdays, I've been dropping the podcast. So I think we might stick with that schedule because it just seems to work out better in regards to me getting all my stories together. And on the podcast, I know you guys are like, oh, we already hear the stories on the other platforms. No. We're able to talk a little bit more candid, uncensored, and we're able to drop other tea that we don't talk about in these YouTube streets. So shout out to everyone that's been listening and supporting the podcast. And it's really important to rate and review the podcast as well. Again, if you like links to your favorite platform, head on over to KempireRadio.com or check out the link in the description of this video. As I said before, if you're just joining us, shout out to our new members. Nali Inspires, welcome to the Royal Court. Appreciate you. I love it when I see you guys, you join Team Kempire. That's the first level. But then you're like, oh, I want to join. I want to upgrade. So shout out to Nali for joining and being a part of our Royal Court. I love seeing your crowns. Don't forget to drop your crowns in the chat. And don't forget, with your membership, you get loyalty badges and you get emojis. I made some adjustments to those emojis this week, so be sure to check out that. Migdalia, thank you so much for the super sticker. I have to look over at my YouTube chat in order to see it because StreamYard does not allow me to see it. I'm also working on some really, really cool things for the future in regards to our streaming, trying to just upgrade this and take it to the next level. So when you start seeing other people starting to take things to the next level, remember where you saw it first. Anyways, if you just joined us, we're talking about BET Presents The Encore, one of my new favorite shows. I love that everyone's starting to get into it. And look, it's about to be over. It's about to be over. In this episode, they finally have their former group members join them. As you know, the last couple of weeks, Aubrey, She stepped up. She came up with a vision. She had vision boards for the group. And then she just sort of disconnected. Since we're talking about Aubrey, you know, we reported on the story that Aubrey has hightailed it out of the country. Yep, she's left the country, y'all. Well, she posted this on her social media saying this. I'm not going to read it, y'all. Basically, what she's saying that she's always wanted to leave the country before. The last time that we saw her, she was on a flight, Emirates flight to Dubai. Everyone thought she was going to Dubai, but I said, because I've been to other places in that part of the world where Dubai is just a layover. And apparently, according to updates in regards to Aubrey, she might be on her way to somewhere in Indonesia. Could be Thailand. Who knows? But I'm jealous. I said, I really love what she said in her caption here at the end. She says, so I'm writing this to anyone who may be relating to any of these feelings expressed. Just jump and the net will appear. I thought that was beautiful, and I thought it was a really powerful message. But, you know, Aubrey's getting a lot of backlash. She's getting a lot of backlash right now in regards to her behavior on the show. And I just want to remind you guys that Aubrey comes from reality TV. That's how she started. That's how we were first introduced to her. Of course, it went into music, and, you know, everyone loves Danny DeCane. Danny DeCane, if anything, she's the most successful character, artist, or singer on this show. Let's be real. When it comes down to the numbers, Danny DeCane is definitely probably the most successful on this show. Now, if Farrah Franklin was on it, even though she was a part of Destiny's Child for a hot second, she would have been. Technically, even though she was there for like 6 months, which felt like 6 weeks. But she still says, I'm a former member of Destiny's Child. Okay, Farrah, sit down. Nicole says, Team Nivea, Team Aubrey. Okay. Yeah, you know what it is? Maybe because I get what Aubrey was doing. I don't take what Aubrey does as, oh my God, she's trying to play up this, you know, she's trying to cause trouble. I didn't take it as that. I just like, Aubrey knows what makes good TV. And look, Aubrey's not the best singer, but she definitely wasn't the worst singer in that house. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it because you guys already know who the worst singers were. Okay. Nali says, I love the show. I love it too. You know, Carlos King is doing the damn thing. Doesn't Love and Marriage Huntsville premiere this Saturday as well? That's another show I need to watch and get into. Shout out to the Relic, I think, or no, the Real CT says, Team Aubrey. Well, you know, I'm glad to see that there are people that are Team Aubrey. Y'all know I'm not Team anyone. I'm Team Kempire all day, every day. But I don't feel like Aubrey deserves the backlash that some people are giving her. And when I say some people, Elijah Blake. Elijah Blake is a friend of the show. He's been on my podcast years ago, you know, before he was really a household name. He did at that point write for Usher. But I'm not liking how this is all transpiring. And look, I try not to judge these people based on what we see on television because we understand that a lot of things are editing. A lot of things are edited out. Last week we spoke about him, you know, saying that, you know, Viacom is painting him as the angry black man. But it's not Viacom. Isn't this Carlos King's production? Isn't those his editors? So who your beef would be with Carlos King. But I don't feel like they were painting you as the angry black man. I think they were painting you as what we saw you say. But like I said, this is editing. I don't know if we saw everything. Elijah, if you would like to come on the show and explain your side, you know, like I'm Team Elijah. I know Elijah. I don't know the rest of these motherfathers. I just know their music. But I've interviewed Elijah. Anyways. Okay, since we're speaking of Elijah, I'm gonna play some video. And shout out to my girl Layla Lynn. I've posted, because you know here on the channel we always cite our sources. So I posted a link to the full video so you can check out Layla Lynn's report on this new developing story. So Elijah Blake is coming out because he saw people talking about him in the comments. They were doing an IG live with the choreographer, there we go, and Kosine. Kosine was a big part of this week's episode, and we're gonna get into that. And I think St. J said that the ladies were going in on him on social media, talking about how he allegedly cheated on his wife. I don't know how that's even relevant to what played out on the show. But again, here's another week, and I'm still wondering, why is Keely there? This episode, I just felt like Keely was trying to act like she was doing something. I was like, Keely, what are you doing? Are you a project manager? You're not a creative director. You're not a creative director. You're not. I'm just saying. Omar says, Elijah explained it yesterday on live. Well, you know what? I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it here. So look, if you're just joining us, we're talking about BET Presents The Encore. We're talking about Aubrey. Aubrey has left the country. Something that I want to do. No offense to America. I love America. I love New York specifically. But I would love to live in another country. If you've traveled, you understand why. Well, apparently Aubrey not only left the show this episode, she left the country. She didn't tell the ladies. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, how could she do that? And even the ladies were acting like that. Aubrey understands good reality TV. She knows what she's doing. This was all by design. This is all by design. What are you guys saying in the chat? Where are my moderators? Oh, goodness. Let me go back to this. Okay. Hold on. Let me just see what you guys are saying in the chat. Shout out to our new members. Again, if you'd like to become a member of the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, head on over to TheKempire.com. Let me just post this part up here. Hold on. There we go. I will be posting the link. Once we hit 100 likes, I'll post the link so you guys can call in and share your thoughts. We're recapping BET Presents The Encore. As I said before, Aubrey hightailed it up out of the house and now out of the country. She sold her home in LA. She posted on her social media, and now she's on her way to the other side of the world. Well, that did not stop from singer, songwriter, vocal arranger Elijah Blake addressing the whole Aubrey situation on IG Live. So let's take a look at that. As always, as I said before, I'll be citing my sources, Layla Lynn TV. Be sure to check out her full video. I've posted a link in the description of this Kempire Daily YouTube video. Omar says, Kylie is creative director of Messy. Even that, I'm like, what are you? She was sitting in the studio acting like she was doing something. I was like, Keely, go sit down. You're not doing anything. Look, you're not doing anything. Let's get into this, though. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to share this video with you guys so you can see what Elijah had to say in regards to Aubrey. There we go.
I was trying not to read the comment. And like, because once I go in, I can't really. He said Aubrey something. I was trying to be nice to the girl because she just ran and left her suitcase and moved to another country. But Aubrey can kick rocks before we told Jesus and right. Didn't shake up nothing over here. And y'all are so easily manipulated to let this white woman get on a black network do a full Karen when she tried to turn everybody against each other, try to turn the twins, try to turn everybody, and it didn't work. She played the victim and got in the car and ran and hauled ass. Meanwhile, she was like, oh, I love these songs. Remember, Aubrey was the same person fighting to be on every song. Once that didn't happen, she couldn't get her timing right. Now they want to take off the song. Now she don't like the song. This is the same girl, oh, Aubrey's so innocent, out there looking like a blown up can of biscuits, sitting there now. Same girl was on Big Brother, spitting sandwiches and making people eat them. That's y'all victim? That's y'all queen? Nah, tap out, bro. Tap out. I'm about to jump off because I'm really from Florida and I don't give a fuck. Yeah. No, bro. Don't let him get under your skin, dog. Don't let him get but people be so quick to run and it's our own people. That's what's so annoying about it. I don't really care about the show, but it's our own people. Y'all are so quick to forget. Y'all are so quick to forget what we have dealt with as people. And they show you, there's a video on Satan right now with a white woman playing the victim. If it wasn't for our camera phones and us being able to record stuff and see what really happened, I'm going to shut up now, but just use y'all mind, man. Like, she's playing the victim. She's trying to put everybody against each other. That's why Danny Buchanan didn't work out, which was really Dawn and she wanted to sit there and talk about how much she sold. You think Dawn bopped her and blamed on her in the back of the head because it was part of the choreography? No. So let's just keep it real. And it's our people. Y'all be so quick to be, oh, master, please, who hurt your master? Who's picking on you? I'm going to get them master like it. Well, don't let Aubrey be y'all queen. But y'all got Aaliyah sitting here telling y'all it didn't happen like that. Y'all got Felisha and Fallon telling y'all it didn't happen like that. She walked in the house looking like big ass. I knew it was about to be problem.
Y'all better stop trying, my friend.
Hey, man,
Why you gotta call her Big Ange, though? Oh, Elijah. Look, I think there's more to the story that we don't know or understand. Because based on what we saw, it did paint Elijah as if he was lying. I don't know the story. Honestly, I don't even care. Anyone else? I don't even care. I did not realize that the producers would become a part of the storyline. But then watching this latest episode of BET Presents The Encore, I said to myself, you know what? As an artist, as someone that used to produce and write music and that would be in the studio, drama in the studio happens. I can recall, and it was never me. I mean, I've had some heated moments with producers in the studio and engineers, but I recall when I was managing an artist, a heated moment in the studio with an engineer and producer. And I'm like, this is real. This happens. So I didn't expect it for the show, but it's real. It's definitely real. Hold on, y'all. Let me just. Okay, there we go. There we go. Hold on a second. I'm trying to moderate because where are my moderators? Anyways, guys, it is what it is. Although at the same time I was like, why are we paying attention to Kosine and Elijah right now? But it made sense. It made sense. If we're going to talk about the realities of forming a group, the realities of being in music, the realities of being in the studio, the realities of working with producers and other artists, that's a reality. Sometimes your engineer might mess up. Sometimes, your producer might mess up. Sometimes the songwriter might mess up, or there's conflict and you don't agree. That's a part of it. Exactly. Giving us authentic studio time. And maybe I was a little triggered. But I wasn't expecting it, but it's important. It's important. And this episode, we didn't get any Elijah, but we did get Kosine and Fallon beefing in the studio. They're throwing Kosine under the bus, saying that, he took the files and he didn't leave them and why he did that. Then there was a heated conversation with Fallon and Kosine. I don't know if this was editing, but I have to say, very much like what we've seen with the Cherished Twins, I just felt like she was being overly a lot in that moment. And I was just like, is this editing or is this just Fallon being Fallon, the Fallon that we've seen? But I thought it was funny when Kosine said to check my Wikipedia. So you know what I did? I went and checked his Wikipedia because I really wasn't familiar with Kosine, but I was familiar with the interns. The interns, I'm familiar with that name, and he's one of the interns, and they produce quite a few different records. But I said, you know what we like to do here on the show? We like to go to people's Wikipedia. We like to look at property together. So I said, let me look at Kosine's Wikipedia. And I said, I'm just going to go live and look at his Wikipedia with you guys. So let's do it. Let's do it. Hold on, y'all. And although his Wikipedia is impressive, look, he's an American music producer. He's a member of the production duo The Interns. Hold on, y'all. He's well, first of all, his real name is Marcos. His first name is Marcos Palacios. His father's Guatemalan. His mother is Panamanian. But look at his resume. He produced such songs as Big Sean's Dance. I'm not familiar. Birthday Cake, Rihanna's Birthday Cake. I'm familiar with that. That's a good song. And Nicki Minaj's Anaconda. Apparently, in regards to Nicki Minaj's Anaconda, they they didn't produce the entire record. They came in and did like the drums or something like that. So that was one of their, things. But then when you read through the Wikipedia, it sounds as if he was really trying to be on the forefront. So I'm a little suspicious of Elijah and suspicious of Kosine that they want to be in front of the camera and not necessarily just behind the scenes. Maybe. Look, maybe. I'm skeptical. But these are the albums that he's been a part of. I'm not that impressed. And look, I know I don't have anything with, well, okay, wait. You guys are going to continue to look. It's important for you to brag. It's important for you to brag about yourself. So I'm going to brag about myself. Okay, I've interviewed Oprah. I've interviewed Brandy multiple times. I've interviewed a lot of different artists, including Elijah Blake, who's on the show. But I got a new brag. And it's only because Nicki Minaj fans are always in my comments on TikTok. Nicki Minaj follows you? She follows 16 people on social media, and I'm one of them, okay? Hold on, y'all. I'm all right, there we go. And I was like, you may have produced a song for Nicki Minaj, but is she following you? Kosine? I feel like there's so much ego in this house. I don't think any of us could fit. Okay? Cal, we saw that. We saw that on his Wikipedia page. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. BET's Man Cave. Sorry. Hold on. Najay says, Barb's, we in here. So when all these people are bragging about stuff, look, everyone should brag. Everyone should brag. You should. When you've achieved something, you should. But when he said to go check his Wikipedia page, I expected to see a lot more. And I've heard of the interns before. I never heard of Kosine individually. I've heard of the interns. But when he told them to go check his Wikipedia page, again, I know Elijah doesn't like Aubrey. I think Aubrey knew what she was doing in regards to causing drama. But Aubrey, of all of them, probably has the bigger name. Just saying. Exactly. Hold on. Mr. Coy, have you been following me for many years, or did you just see that video? Brandy has sung me birthday multiple times, actually. We're gonna get to that. So, as I said before, Keely, why are you here? Especially in this episode, she was really trying to show up and act like I'm creative director. I'm doing things. What are you doing? What are you doing? You didn't produce the records. You didn't do the choreo. You didn't. And now you want to act like, well, you need to get on this and do this. Keely, if you don't get off the show, I do like how Keely came to the defense of Fallon because she didn't like the toxic masculinity that Kosine was exhibiting. But I also felt like Fallon was already getting very snippy with him. But like I said, I don't know what was left out. It just seems sudden to us. But who knows what was being pent up, what we did not see on the show. So it didn't really make sense to me because it felt like Fallon was just getting nasty with him for no reason. It was like, why are you getting so nasty? You know what I mean? But I know we jumped right into the whole Kosine beef because that really happened towards the end of the episode. Let's backtrack. So in this episode of BET Presents The Encore, again, long title. Again, okay, Carlos, I know you're watching this. What's up, Carlos King? Carlos, for next season, CITE, bye. The queen element, oh, you're going to be queen of the week. Bye. Okay. All right. Other than that, though, it's a stellar show. Those are very minor details. So they had a couple of producers, including Jazzy Faye, and some of the group's former members attended. Aubrey was there, but Aubrey had already checked out. She seemed uncomfortable during the playback of their music. I've said multiple times in the snippets that we've heard of the music, it sounds incredible. But during this episode, Aubrey was downplaying the music, even though You know, according to Elijah, she wanted to be on all the songs, but she was like, the sound doesn't sound right. She was saying, you know, I was in a group where everyone had different voices, but we pulled it together. Remember, we watched that process. We watched the process. So I have to say, Aubrey, of all of those ladies, she comes from a different space because that group was formed very differently. And she's right. These women, different personalities, different voices, but it worked. Diddy created a monster group with Danity Kane. And I think if Danity Kane didn't break up, they would have been on the level of a Destiny's Child. Unfortunately, because they were so different, because the personalities were so different, it just really. But Danity Kane's 2 albums, those were hot. Danity Kane as a group, dancing, singing, they were incredible. Let's not forget. You know, I know it's been years. Look how many people were so excited. Did you guys know I interviewed Danity Kane during the right before they broke up for that second time? Their publicist was so mad at me because of the way I wrote about the story, because I was like, I forgot what I said. I have to recall. The publicist was pissed. I was like, y'all playing games with me right now, because the way that the interview was on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. You can check that out. It was so awkward because all the ladies it was a phone call. All the ladies seemed like they were in different places, but I think they had already broken up at that point, and there was only 3 of them. And this is when they were doing DC3. DC3? No, DK3. DC3. And I think what was happening then, the group was already breaking up, but the phone call was so awkward. I'm like, what is happening here? But I told the truth in my blog post about it, because, you know, we used to have a blog too. I've been around the block, y'all. We used to have KempireDaily.com, which is coming back, y'all. It's coming back. There will be a blog. You guys are getting exclusives right now. The blog will be coming back. They didn't like the story that I wrote. I wish I could remember the story, but I was just being real. Exactly, Young Ray. Hold on, let me check Kempire Wikipedia. I'm not on Wikipedia. I should be. That's the Leo moon. This is not my Taurus side. This is the Leo moon coming out, and I embrace it. Anyways, guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about BET Presents The Encore. I've digressed a lot. But I'm trying to give you guys some background. Of what I know. Danity Kane was the biggest group that is in this house. That was the biggest group. But I kind of had a feeling that Aubrey would be leaving the show based on the breadcrumbs that we've seen on social media, blah, 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 blah. She also did not have people show up. We didn't have people show up for her. And I think, you know, she ended up mending fences with Dawn. She's good friends still with Shannon. So I'm trying to understand. You know what I mean? I'm trying to understand, was this production? What was the plan? I don't know. Okay. So the playback of their music. The music is good, y'all. And according to an interview that DJ Richie Sky did with Carlos King this week, after the live, I'll post a link so you guys can check that out as well. After they did an interview, the question was, you know, will we actually get music? I assumed we were going to get music, but Carlos King confirmed that we will be getting music. So I'm excited about that. The music sounds good. Fallon and Felisha, you say what you want about them. But the music is good. Especially Bird's Eye View. I need that on my phone. Okay, to be honest with you, can I get the Felisha and Fallon version? Come on. And then when Jazzy Faye and all the guys stopped them and said, "Oh no, y'all should perform it. Y'all saw that performance? It was awkward as hell. Just play the music and let's vibe out to it. Shamari's husband came. Shamari's husband, Ronnie DeVoe. We all, when he was on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, we all were like, what is going on with this marriage? Look, no, I think they have a solid marriage. But when he was trying to give Candy tips, I think Ronnie, because Ronnie wasn't the star of New Edition, let's be real. Ronnie wasn't the star, so he feels, and don't get me wrong, he's a legend. He's a legend. New Edition are legends. He was not the star of New Edition. I think because he's a part of that group, he feels like, oh, I can say this and say that, and he feels like he knows everything. Ronnie, sit down. Someone says Shamari has the best vocal. Shamari, hands down. I've said this multiple times in my recaps of the show. She does. She's the strongest singer of all of the ladies. Misha, she seemed like she was trying to make peace this episode. She's trying to make peace. You know, she's not happy that she didn't get a lot of songs, but it was Irish who was sort of like checked out. And then Misha's sort of throwing her sister under the bus, but rightfully so. She's saying that Irish is not showing up when she should be showing up. But Irish, okay, between her and Misha, they're the weakest links. They're the weakest singers in the show. Delsenia, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, your Leo is showing and I love it. Just saying. Delsenia has the Kempire membership, so she has the emojis. So thank you for using them. I love that. I love seeing you guys use the emojis, and I love seeing the badges. Shout out to all of our members. If you'd like to become a member of the Kempire Daily YouTube membership, head on over to TheKempire.com or click the join button. There are a lot of really great perks coming up, and even some surprise perks. If you are a Royal Court member, I posted on our community tab the link to our StreamYard, so you get it before anyone. I haven't posted it yet. We're almost at 100 likes. You know what? I'll share the StreamYard link now. But team members, if you have not checked that out and you would like to be the first in line, you can head on over to the community tab. You get those exclusives first, and that's for our Royal Court members. All right, let me just post this up. Hold on, y'all. There we go. Yes, Crystal. Love it. I mean, you won't see it on the StreamYard because StreamYard doesn't let us do it. But if you're on YouTube, you can see some of the custom emojis that our team Kempire and Royal Court members get as a part of the membership. Anyways, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the BET Presents The Encore. It's been a good show. So as I said before, they're playing their music. The music sounds amazing. But I want to hear a full song. I want to see a full song. Aubrey is checked out during this performance. So is Irish. But Aubrey ends up leaving the house, not telling anyone. Everyone's the next day, what happened to Aubrey? Blah, 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 blah. Aubrey's gone. Okay. But in the conversations, we get to see some of the group members have conversations. And one of the group members that we see have a conversation is Pam of Total and Kima of Total. And apparently 4 years ago, Pam cut everybody off, especially her group members, and blocked them. Why did she feel the need to block them? I mean, you could be saved and still be connected to your friends and family. I wonder, why she decided to block them. And they have a real serious conversation. She's like, why would you, leave them to form, leave the group to form this super group? She's like, we are a super group. And she said, God told her to do this. All right, Pam. There was something that she said. Kima said that you had once said that, we're Destiny's Child and you're the Beyonce. Was Pam considered really? I guess she would be. I would have thought, oh my God, I can't even think of her name. The other one, not Kima, but the other one that's married to, is it Omar Epps? Keisha Epps? Is it Keisha Epps? Yeah, there we go. There go, brain. I considered her, maybe vocally she's not the Beyonce of the group, but she was like the center for me. I thought Keisha was the Beyonce of Total. If we're going to be real. You know what I mean? Thank you guys, Keisha. I love it when you guys do that. Uh-oh, I saw a total stand coming to the chat. Oh my God. Let me take some callers. Oh God. Danielle.
Hey, happy Friday.
Oh God, thank God. I decided to go live earlier because I couldn't wait to talk about this. And since we're talking about Total, I know you are a Total fan. Who would you say would be the Beyonce of Total?
Oh, shucks. It was definitely Kima.
Oh, Kima?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Back then, she just had, look, she had a cute little pixie haircut before everyone.
No, so you getting the names mixed up. You mean Keisha.
Kima, Keisha. So who was the one that showed up last night on the show?
Kima.
Okay, so Kima, definitely not Kima then, because Kima was dating a drug dealer down here in D.C., so not her.
Allegedly. Hold on, let me put up my...
Let me put up my emoji, allegedly. Yes, sir. So Keisha.
You're always dropping T. I'm like, what the hell?
Keisha, because that's what's-her-face's wife. That's
Omar Epps.
Yes, Omar. That's his. Yes, so she was the Beyonce. Sorry. Yes.
Oh, Sam said, look at Sam said. He said, Kim, they're about to run up on you like they did Wendy. No, Pam is saved now. Pam is saved.
They can come around these parts if they want to. They know what I know.
Exact. Data says Keisha was the Beyonce. She was the damn, but come on.
Just think about all the Total videos. Keisha came with that cute little pixie haircut. She was always the one in the center. Kima always looked like, always wanted to get Kima braces. I just wanted to fix her teeth. It was just something not right. And she was so thin. She was cute in her own little way. And I only thought Pam was cute because remember, Pam used to date the MTV guy, Ed Lover or something. Remember?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot about that. You bringing me back.
And the Thinking of You video when they had on them Gucci jeans with the feathers on them, and he was there when she threw out all his stuff in his apartment.
Yeah.
On that video. Yes. So she was cute. Pam had her moment. She was cute, but Keisha was definitely the Beyonce of the group.
Damn, that's what I thought. I had to really think about it because I was like, yeah. But Pam says she doesn't remember that. But I think Pam conveniently said she didn't remember that because she knew the fans were going to get her.
Pam has selective amnesia, and that's what we're going to call it.
Okay, let's talk about this episode. I don't know. You got it. You definitely saw this episode. What were your thoughts on this episode and some of the conversations that were being had, even off on social media?
Okay, so I haven't paid attention to the conversations on social media. I did think. Okay, so let's see. I didn't understand, to your point, why the twin was going off on the producer guy so hard, and I don't know if we missed something, if they edit something out, but it just seemed so aggressive. I did semi-appreciate Keely having her back, but I would like to know what was really the behind-the-scenes story that
like, what did we miss?
Because it was just like, go hard quickly.
I agree. I felt like and I was saying that earlier, I felt like it feels like we missed something, so it's hard to be like, oh, team anyone in this, because I feel like, are we missing something here? Because it seemed out of nowhere that she got so angry with him. I want to read this comment. Shout out to you, Storm. Thank you for being here. Storm says, word on the street is that the show did not get to finish filming. So it makes me wonder how they're going to wrap it all up. I want those songs on my plate. Me too, Storm. First of all, and like I said, I want Bird's Eye View, but I want Fallon's version. I want the demo. Danielle, okay. What were your thoughts on Aubrey leaving? Danielle? Oh, lost Danielle. I'm going to ask Anuli. Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm fine. Been trying to get on here for a long time. Everyone's hogging up the space, but I'm happy to make it finally.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But honestly, first of all, Irish was pressed. And I'm just like, I really appreciate Lamisha. Ever since like the last episode with her being queen and her being like, I don't know, she just really grew into, I think, her maturity. I was just like, I'm not an ace on. This is my time to get like shine. I must like, and then Irish knew, Lamisha, she knew like, okay, like we're not the most talented girls here. So like she's kind of wilding right now,
She had a reality check.
Exactly. And I was just very appreciate that. Okay, like that's my sister, but like I'm gonna tell you when you're wrong. And I did appreciate that because I have two sisters and I do the same thing. Like I'm not gonna we fight together, but when you're wrong, you better sit down. So I did appreciate doing that.
What did you think of the fight between Fallon and Kosine? She's like, I'm the producer of this house.
So I don't like the twins, man. Them girls. I don't know. Because that's like you guys were saying, like it may have been edited out. And for me, because I watched it on like BET.com, it was kind of like an extra. So it was just like an extra clip. I'm like, whoa, like, what is happening right now? But I don't know. Them twins, they rah-rah for a lot of reasons I don't know about. So it's just like it's kind of hard to tell. I can't really say anything on that, honestly.
What was your overall feeling of the season so far?
I like it. Keely, what's she doing? So I'm a millennial, Generation Z. I don't know. But like I followed like Keely and GLW and the Cheer Girls. Like that's what my age group basically. So for me, it's just like to even like grow up to see how mean she was to Notoria and all that stuff. It's just like kind of, okay, I followed you, but like, why are you here? And now, really, I don't like you, but why are you here? So it's kind of, why is she here? When will we find out this answer? She was useless this episode.
I'm asking every week. I'm asking every single week. Why is she here? Everyone in the chat is talking about Mila from 702. Another humble brag. I've interviewed Mila multiple times as well. I love Mila. She was a little hoarse this episode, so we really couldn't hear. They had to give us captions for her. But it was nice to see that they still have a good relationship despite the drama of the past. What was it like seeing 702 together again for you?
So, like I said, so I was basically 2 when they were popping. So, like, I really old. Like, I know their music. I love them, but it's just like I wasn't really aware until I started like watching you guys talk about it. But I was really surprised to see like Lamisha hugging her. I was just like, oh, I thought it was gonna be beat. It's not beat. Oh shit! Like she was crying. I thought she was being fake for a second, but like there were real tears. It's just like, oh, this love. Like maybe they can mend whatever might happened 25 years ago. Like I was happy to see it. Like this is what we need in like television, especially for like I don't want to be that person, but with Black people, like we should only see fighting. When I saw it, I was like, yes, let's get together, love, love, love.
I was hoping for some shade, but apparently
not shade. It's all happy.
I wanted a little shade. I wanted a little shade. But especially because I didn't know what the relationship currently was with the ladies of 702. Yes, they reunited a couple of years ago, but I wasn't sure where they were at because they're not together anymore.
And they're not popping. So.
Oh damn. Well, rightfully so. What's her name? Misha's busy smoking 3 packs a day.
Yeah. And that's why I was she wasn't the one that was complaining that much, but she was like, I'm gonna write more. I was like, but write what? Do something. Like the twins were doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you said. Like even though I don't like them, they were very productive. They talked what they were about. Just like I want to do something. I'm just like go do it. Make your studio time. Write a song. Like
what did you think of the song so far?
I like it. It was nice to listen to. Would I listen to on my free time? No. And honestly, like it was cute. It was cute. Can I talk about the fact that like when Kima she impressed Pam, but like when I heard that like you said you were the Beyonce of the group, I was like, Miss Jesus Pam, tell her exactly who she is, because I'm a Christian too, but Pam, the way she does too much, I'm just like, Pam, I know you were different 10 years ago, 5 years ago. You want to tell me it wasn't this? You weren't always like this. Like stop playing. Like you better tell her what she's about.
I really want to know what the real story is behind Pam. I do believe that she is saved and she's become very religious, but I want to know what sparked that. But I still think that she has a lot more healing to do.
I agree, especially I don't know how her ex-husband broke up or anything. I know they divorced, but I feel like I'm not sure also too if that was like during the time when she said that comment to Kima, and that could have been the fuel to why she didn't want to go back on tour. Because Kim was just like, I love you, let's make music. And then Pam was, if she said that, plus no, I don't want to, it's just like, damn, you didn't have to come at me like that. Like, sheesh, like, I love you. I've known you for 20 something years. You don't have to come at me like that. And I felt like Pam came so wholeheartedly. I was just like, Pam, come. What can you say, Miss Pam, on TV so we gonna see? I don't know.
Anuli, thank you so much for calling in.
No problem.
Bernice, I'm going to bring you up. But before we do that, hold on one second, guys. We have over 200 something people watching this video. Like this video. Don't forget, here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, you're getting daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. We're recapping BET Presents The Encore and talking about some of the things that happened this week. As always, we will be citing our sources, so be sure to check that out in the description of this video. All right, Bernice, I'm going to bring you up. Hey.
Hey, Kempire, how you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
How are you doing today?
I'm well. I think there's Bernice. I think there's a delay. Bernice, do me a favor. Bernice, and call back in. Sign out and then call back in. I think there was some sort of delay. Hey, Danielle. Danielle.
Here I am. I was trying to unmute myself. I'm doing not driving hands-free right now. So, okay, where we leave off?
How do you feel about the music?
I like the music, surprisingly. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it, but okay. So let me start with this. When they were planning, like when the guests were walking in for the listening party, I was like, "Oh my goodness, what is this music going to sound like?" They were just finished fussing the night before. What are we going to get? But once Jazzy Faz and Ronald DeVoe finished their little piece of trying to stop traffic and direct everyone, which I thought was kind of okay. Like, go make us feel it, give us the vibe, like dance. But I got it once they said it. But
I didn't feel different. They could have played the music and I would have felt the same.
Okay, so initially when they were like, stop, they were like yelling. I was like, oh my gosh, shut up. Who are you? I just felt like it was a bunch of masculinity trying to take over. I was like, let these girls do their thing the way they see fit. This is their listening party. Let them do it the way they see fit. But because I just felt like it was so much stop. Once they finally stopped and listened to what they were saying and asked them to like dance and engage and participate, I was like, okay, maybe I get it. I understood what they were saying. I think it was just how they said it that bothered me. But once the music started playing, especially that Bird's Eye View, I sat up in my bed and pushed my desk away because I was supposed to be working. But I sat up in the bed and pushed the desk away and I was like, okay, I'm feeling this. So I would like to see it on iTunes or Spotify or Tidal or what else do I have? That's what I have. Yeah, I want to see it. I want to hear the whole song with no interruption. And to your point earlier, I would like to hear Fallon's version. I want to hear the twins version.
I hope they leak that online.
And
Go ahead.
was feeling Pam's song a little bit too. I enjoy it. I can play Pam's song on Sunday for my gospel moments. Yes.
Let me bring Bernice up. Bernice, I'm going to bring you up too. Hey, Bernice. Wait, are you frozen? Oh, there we go. Bernice? Bernice, I think we're having some technical difficulties over there. So Danielle, so some other areas that I want to talk about. The fight between the ladies and Kosine, it continues into next week. What were your thoughts on this situation? I heard that apparently the ladies were throwing him under the bus for allegedly cheating on his wife. I don't know. How is that even relevant to the show?
And if they were, they're so disrespectful. Mind your business and stay out of grown folks' business. But now it made me, the previous caller that called in, the young lady who said that, she was like younger when some of these groups came out, how she said BET gave extra clips. Now I feel like I need to log into BET to see what those extra clips are. Because I want to know more. I want to know why were they so aggressive and why were they and if they were throwing him under the bus about his wife. I mean, I get it. Sometimes women can be just like, we take on other people's stuff, but that has nothing to do with the song. And I didn't like the twin talking about she's the producer of this house. If you were brought in to be the producer of this house, they wouldn't have brought Kosine in the first place.
Did you expect this beef between Elijah and Kosine and the ladies? I didn't expect this.
Absolutely not. But I guess it makes for good TV because here we are talking about it. And I think the guys, and I know guys are just real chill too, I think they recognize that the ladies might have been playing into the cameras.
Oh.
Because they were too chill with it. Like sometimes I know guys can be real chill, but sometimes guys are not going to accept for so much, and he was just sitting there taking it all.
Did you Google? I don't know if you saw. We because he Kosine told him to check my Wikipedia page.
I did see that. So I didn't do it when he said. I think I was mid-email when he said that, so I didn't do it. And I haven't done it yet because I'm driving right now. So,
no,
what does it
we
say?
did. Look, I'll call it up again. We did it. We'll bring it back up. Hold on. Look, I wasn't familiar with Kosine, but then when you go through his Wikipedia page, I was like, okay, impressive. I know the interns. I know they've done some music. You know, he did some stuff with Big Sean, Rihanna's Birthday Cake. I love that song. Nicki Minaj's Anaconda. But I just have to point out the Nicki Minaj Anaconda situation. They just did like the drum beats, and I don't want to just say just, but you know what I'm saying. It wasn't like their original song. But the other thing that I love that he produced was Kelly Rowland's comeback single, Coffee. I like that song. I don't know if it was much of a comeback single. I don't know if it was much of a comeback single. But
I don't think I know Coffee.
So maybe it wasn't a comeback single.
Yeah, I don't think that was the comeback because what's the single that I do know from her? I can't think of it, but obviously it's not his.
Oh, damn. So I think there's a lot of ego in this house. Look, if you're just joining us, we're talking about BET Presents The Encore, produced by Carlos King and Todd Tucker. I haven't seen Todd do any interviews for this. I've seen Carlos doing all the interviews, and I know Carlos is busy. What is Todd doing that he can't be out here promoting this show? Danielle. Danielle, I think we lost Danielle. All right, I'm gonna drop you out, Danielle. If you're just joining us, we're talking about BET Presents BET Presents The Encore. Let me just kind of go back through some of my notes to see if there's any areas that I forgot to talk about. No, I think I talked about everything. The fight, though, between the ladies and Kosine continues into next week. I did like the fact that Keely came to the defense of Fallon, but I think Keely also wanted to have a moment. I think Keely wanted to have a moment because, she's not doing much. She's not doing much. Even the creative directing. Like, what are you here for, Keely? Oh, Lord. We only have a couple more episodes. Based on the interview that I saw, Carlos King has been doing a few different interviews. There's no confirmation if there will be an actual, reunion for the ladies. I hope they do, but I hope we also get the music. Oh, gosh. Really? Come on, y'all. Todd too busy cheating. I saw that rumor. I haven't reported on it yet. I got too many other things. Lavon says Todd is busy with their OLG and Blaze restaurants. Maybe. I don't know. Bernice, let me see if we can work this out. Bernice?
Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm here.
Yes. Share your
Okay.
thoughts.
Okay. Pam and her super Christian, depending on how much a hellraiser you was before you became a Christian, depends on what level of Christian you're going to be. So Pam coming off like she's super Christian, so we know Pam was a hellraiser with her selective memory. Okay, I'm just being honest.
That makes a lot of sense.
If you clutch the Bible, it makes sense. And Keely, baby, this is your audition to get another show. You need to do better. Okay, you trying to get on more shows from this. Your personality is dry, so you need to work on that. If you wouldn't come off so like you know every damn thing and you don't know nothing, it'll be better.
Yeah.
And the dueling producers, I can go on Wikipedia and make a page for myself, and I ain't did nothing. Come on. So when somebody tell you go check my Wikipedia page, that's not saying nothing.
I
That's
agree.
not saying nothing, because you can go on there and make a Wikipedia page on anybody. Excuse me. When I went to school, my English teacher always said you can't use Wikipedia. It's not valid. Come
Oh,
on. So if somebody gonna say check my Wikipedia page, you know they ain't did crap
Bernice.
because his Wikipedia page should have more than just that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. His personal life was one sentence. His mama and his daddy. What you do outside the studio, boo? Come on now. You're not doing nothing.
What did you think of the music, though, Bernice? Were you feeling the
And then for
music?
you to, I, I I like the music. I do like the music. I do like the music. I think the twins need to just pump their brakes because they got to overcompensate because they are women in a man-dominated field.
Hmm.
So instead of pumping their brakes, they're dealing with women. They overcompensating for the fact that they got to come out harder and they got to come out better than the average guy with their music. So other than that, I like the twins. They just need to be quiet sometimes and just listen. God gave you a mouth and two ears. Close close the mouth and listen to the ladies. Observe the room. Watch the room. What the room is saying. The room is not saying for you to be braggadocious. You need to listen. If they would have listened more, I think they would have got more out of the music because they would have been the women would have been more emotionally invested in the music
Hmm.
instead of the twins just writing everything. Oh, I did this, I did that. But you're not getting the input from the ladies. If you would have got better input from the ladies, the music would have been great. It would have been much more better. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Bernice, I appreciate you calling in.
Okay, kiddo. You have a blessed day, baby.
You too. Um, StreamYard's been acting real. They sent an email yesterday saying that they've been having some issues. I'm like, what is going on? Y'all need to do better. I'm about to leave y'all. No, but StreamYard has a lot more good things than bad things. Anyways, guys, if you just joined us, we have over 200 something people watching this video. I think Keely just disliked the video, or Elijah, or who else did we talk badly about? Misha. We talk all. Well, it's just one. So if you haven't liked this video already, be sure to like. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel because you get daily and consistent hot topics here in music, entertainment, reality TV, and recaps just like this one, where you're able to call in and share your thoughts. Don't forget, a new episode of my podcast will be available very soon. We had one just came out on Saturday. We have another one coming out hopefully this weekend. Subscribe, Kempire Radio, on all podcast platforms. We're going to take one more caller, and then we're going to wrap up this conversation. Princess Gabby, I'm going to bring you up.
Hey,
Hey.
how are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm so glad to finally call in. I watch all the time.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm so happy. I'm calling from Jersey. Okay, here's the thing. Someone said something about him cheating on his wife, and that was an issue. Okay, as an artist, you want to be able to trust your producer. You want to be able to give him your soul. When these artists are singing and giving their all, they want to be able to trust that person to bring out the best in them. Okay? So if you have a producer who's knowingly cheating on their wife, that might make some of those women who have some of them are wives feel a certain way.
Yeah.
So they might be like, you know what? Yeah, no, bro. No, I don't like this. I want you to be, and they're singing love songs on top of everything.
Yeah.
They're singing love songs. They're singing songs about God. You want to be able to trust that person. If this person is married and took vows in front of God, as a lot of people do, you want to be able to trust them. And if they're going against those things, and if they're going against your values, they might feel a certain kind of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not look, I'm not passing judgment on anyone. I was brought up Catholic and now I'm a Jew. So
Wow.
I'm not passing judgment on anyone, but the spirit, like, you know, there's just a matter of trust that you need to have with that person that you're giving your craft to, you're giving your art to, you're giving your soul to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you want to be comfortable there. You know, sometimes these artists, and I've worked at A&R, sometimes these artists, their place of solace is the studio. They might not have any peace anywhere else. You got your auntie, your grandma, your cousin, Ray Ray and them asking you for money.
Not Ray
right?
Ray and them.
and you want to have that one place where you're like, I can breathe.
Yeah.
This is my place. So I get that. The music, it's good. It's good. I'm happy for them. I don't know how far they're gonna go, but the music is good. It is. I don't have any complaints about that.
Do you think the group will survive though with like 8 people?
No, heck no. No. What is this, a Partridge Family? We're gonna paint a bus and drive. We're gonna paint a bus and drive around town. No, it's 8 people. Really? What? When's the last group you saw had 8 people? I'll wait. The Jackson 5 didn't have 8 people.
And even they had problems in their family.
There's no 8 people is not.
Wait, speaking of family, why didn't the Cherish twin sisters come and hear the music?
Maybe they weren't allowed to. Maybe it would have been too overwhelming. Think about it. The twins have already taken over the show, or tried to, basically. You know what I mean? So maybe it was just too much. They would have come and overpowered everything. You have family versus a group. Family is way different. You know what I mean? Like a group, you have 702, you have the 2 sisters, and you have, one. You have, Nivea's by herself, and, with Shamari, her group, they weren't related. But if you have family,
yeah,
no, you're not gonna, you can say what you want about them, but when they come together, it's over. They're not gonna.
Well, what I'm referring to is why didn't their other sisters come, not to be a part of the show, but to be
just to listen.
Just to listen to music.
I still say the same thing. Maybe they weren't allowed to.
Oh my God.
Maybe it would have been too overwhelming. Maybe the other women would have felt ganged up on. You know what I mean? Like, you got 4 sisters. There's not 4 sisters anywhere else. There's 2, but there's not 4. They might have been, or maybe they just didn't want to do it. They might have been like, this is BS. We don't, we're better than this.
I want to know what really happened. Why those
people
weren't there.
I want to know too, because it was odd that they weren't there. It was definitely odd that they weren't there. But at the same time, you have to wonder, like, maybe they would have been too much.
What were your thoughts on the whole Aubrey situation?
Really? Look, listen. Aubrey is about Aubrey. I think that Aubrey has other agendas. I think this was something, Aubrey had her ties to our ex-president. Aubrey had, Aubrey, I think, is trying to be relevant. I think she wanted us all to know that she wasn't fat anymore, because, those pictures that leaked out. So she wanted us to know.
Were you watching the same show?
No. Remember, like, a couple months back? Wait. She wasn't as big. Okay, I'm sorry. She wasn't as big as she was, because those pictures, she was a big girl, and there's nothing wrong with being a big girl. But now I think I think Aubrey needs to be on Ileana Van Zant, Fix My Life.
That's done.
Well, she needs to do it again, because something's not quite right with her. I think that she misses the spotlight. I think that she wants something, and she's talented, but she's just not she's not a fun person to be around. She's not fun. She's not a girl's girl. Oh. You know what I mean? She put on that act with the vision board and everything else like that. Mm-hmm. But she's not a girl's girl. she still has like those sneaky, conniving ways, and she's not a girl's girl, and they need girls there. But that's just me, because I'm a girl's girl.
Oh. Princess,
I'm gonna pump you up. I'm gonna be like, yeah, girl, fix your crown. No, she's not a girl's girl. That's just how I think. That's how she presents to me.
Princess, I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great night. Guys, first of all, Sashay, you're so right. Because I'm like, wait a second. You're right. How come Pam and Aubrey never compared Diddy stories, and why didn't we get that on film? So a producer should have triggered it. So, ladies, talk about your bad boy days. They come from very different eras of bad boy, too. Very different eras. So, that would have been interesting, right? Ty says, oh, hold on. Ty says, Aubrey's very talented. I think she just didn't vibe with those girls. I really think it was for TV. I know a lot of people are really reading into the drama that's on TV. I just feel like I don't believe it. But maybe that's just me. Sashay says, same dirty Diddy. I would have really loved to see that conversation. I didn't even think of that, Sashay. You're so right. That would have been really interesting to conversations because first of all, Aubrey and Diddy, they're like oil and water. They don't get along. Danny Kane wasn't part of the Bad Boy reunion. But Pam, I think, still gets along very well with Diddy because they were on the tour. So I don't know. Anyways, guys, here are my final thoughts on BET Presents The Encore in this last episode. As you know, we love this new show brought to you by Carlos King and Todd Tucker on BET. It's a good show. It's still good. I'm still entertained. I'm loving the music. I'm loving that they brought their their former group members on the show. I don't know what's happening with the producers versus the ladies. I didn't expect this element, but if you've ever been in a studio and you've ever been an artist, you understand that that's a reality. So I like the fact that we are getting this. And I'm excited to see what we're going to see for the next couple of episodes. I don't even know what number episode this is. You guys will let me know in the chat. For those that are watching the replay of this, let me know your favorite moments and speculations from the episodes of BET Presents The Encore. Let me know what you think. How are you feeling the music? I can't wait for this music to be available. Fallon and Felisha, DM me the song. I want the y'all version. No shade to the other ladies, but I want y'all version. Shout out to everyone that called in. Shout out to everyone that sent in the super chat. Shout out to my mod. Shout out to everyone that was a part of the conversation in the chat. Shout out to all of our new Team Kempire and Royal Court members. Don't forget, you can become a member of the Kempire Daily YouTube channel by clicking the join button or heading over to TheKempire.com. Also sign up for our texting community. That is TextKempire.com for more details. Thank you to everyone for being a part of the show. If you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like this video. And again, for those that are watching the replay, let me know your thoughts on everything. What people said on our callers, what people said in the chat. I want to hear it all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Stay tuned. I have some other things that I'm working on. So turn on your notification bells for the channel so you don't miss out on any breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Have a fantastic evening. And I'll see you guys probably soon.